Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News Deck. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle on Fanofa Street. We are on Go TV channel 125 and DSTV channel 421. Coming up this morning ahead of the Kumawu By-Elections tomorrow, we'll take you live to that constituency for more. Also, dozens of traders at Seko who lost their shops to a fire yesterday count their losses. We are back at the fire scene for an update. And pupils and school authorities of the Bremanja Maradi Basic School in the Central Region anxious towards the completion of the classroom project, as they say the new structure is an encouragement to them to be in school daily despite the threats posed by the existing weak ones. We have business plus more coming up shortly. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. Etc. Front Plains constituency has been one of the safe seats for the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region since its creation in 2010. For 3 consecutive times, the seat has been won by Dr. Alex Adumaku-Mensah, a brother of Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, but the MP faced a stiff opposition from his nephew, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor Jr., and 2 other candidates in the just-ended NDC primaries. Interestingly, both were defeated by not-so-popular businesswoman Hajia Nasira Afra. In this report, Emmanuel Bright Kweku interrogates the possible cause of defeat that has befallen the house of the Duffuors.
The Seche Afram Plains constituency was carved out of the Seche Kumawu constituency in 2010. Since its first general elections in 2012, the Duffuor family, led by Dr. Alex Adumaku-Mensah, has wielded power in the constituency. Their contributions to the creation of the constituency, which was nearly cut off from the regional capital, Kumasi, cannot be underwritten. It is not surprising when incumbent MP Dr. Alex Adumaku-Mensah touts his achievements, claiming he made the district capital Drobonso.
Whoever stands somewhere making any allegation is wrong. I've made this district. When I came here, the people would testify it. I've done a lot. If you come to just the Bonsu here and look at the Bonsu, thought, go to interior, what I've done. It's most of the job are for the government. Road is not for the member of parliament. License is not member of parliament. All that I can do is to lobby to get it. And the first 4 years when our government was in power, I did a lot.
Coming into the NDC presidential and parliamentary primaries, many had thought it was another win for the family, until Dr. Adumaku-Mensah allegedly broke his allegiance to the family by not supporting his cousin, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor's bid to lead the NDC. This consequently saw his nephew, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor Jr., readying himself to unseat him.
I came to support my son, that's all.
You came to support your son, but are you confident that he's going to win?
He will win, hands down.
Hands down. Incumbent has done a lot for the constituency and that he would win. And we know that he's your brother too. So what do you have seen about that?
My son will win.
The family feud, many believe, severed the camp of the Duffuors.
I'm so overwhelmed, I don't even know what to say.
Almost written off, Hajia Afra Nasira, a young businesswoman believed to be in her 30s, took the family by surprise, defeating Dr. Alex Adumaku-Mensah and his nephew.
It's the will of Allah. And this is a win for all of us. It's a win for Seche Afram Plains.
A defeat that has taken Ghanaians aback as she ends the 12-year reign of the family in the area. Despite the ostensible upset left with some delegates, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor Jr. managed 203 votes, 8 votes difference behind the winner. For a section of the delegates, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor's absence in the constituency let down their hopes in him.
Father like son. Signal he has given us does not show that he can help us. You have your constituency, you never sit with them, you never visit your branch, so how do you emerge as that kind of, how do you go into the competition without your branch and your constituency people? We want somebody to be like us in such a place. You know, we are farming communities. It means that when we vote for him, we may not see him maybe 4 years to come. He's a businessman and he's interested in his business, and not in the interest in the development of such a farm place.
For other constituents, underdevelopment in the area was reason enough to bring in a new face.
Adomako hasn't done anything for us for 12 years now. He has helped us, but they weren't enough. Our secondary school hasn't been commissioned yet. See our road, it's deplorable.
We mean it already, that we are going to do change. So this one is not surprise. The people need it and they are doing it, so they are very happy.
Majority of constituents and delegates are certain of development in the constituency as they tout Nasira's affability and hard work.
Afra is humble. She has done a lot for us. She is hardworking. We are glad she has been elected. I am hoping she would provide support for teenage mothers and single parents here.
The talk in town has, however, been whether the family would reclaim its place in the constituency or it's an end for the Dufwo family. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Let's stick with politics because the Kumawu By-Election comes off tomorrow, Tuesday, May 23. Ahead of the elections, the Electoral Commission is reassuring voters and stakeholders that they are fully prepared to organize a smooth and credible electoral process. It emphasized the commitment to uphold democratic principles and ensuring that the will of the people is accurately reflected through legitimate and lawful means. But who are the contenders and what are their chances? We'll be hearing from my colleague Ohim Interior shortly. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has described as fake a notice of polls circulating on social media platforms claiming to be related to the upcoming Kumawu By-Election. The notice, which has been widely shared, purported to be an official announcement from the EC, has the photos of two independent candidates wearing kente cloth, and the said candidates have the symbol of a bird. The Ashanti Regional Director of Electoral Commission, Benjamin Bio, spoke on the probe yesterday with MFRPA.
The first thing we did, the first nomination notice of pool, was a draft that was sent to the commission for approval. And whilst we were talking with the young Kokudria for him to change, we came out with this draft for approval by a commission.
Okay.
Commission looked at it and realized that what we told Kokudria on the 5th was what he should do. And so commission also realized that he needed to change his symbol. Whilst we were talking to him, we also sent the draft to all the candidates for them to change or to amend anything if need be. That is for them to observe and see if all their details are correct.
Okay.
And so we gave it to them to do that. When we did that, the NDC candidate changed his picture because the first one he brought was black. So later, after we have reviewed it, commission needed to allocate a symbol to Kokudria because he has refused to bring his preferred symbol. And that's why he was given a hole. Electoral Commission, as we are known for, we are going to ensure that the final result that will be declared will be a true reflection of the desire of the people who voted. Yes, our personnel have all been trained, and so they are also poised to deliver. Tuesday's election is going to be one of a kind. We are all going to be in Kumawu, and we are all going to ensure that the right thing is done and that the candidate who wins is the one who is declared as the winner.
Okay. But what's your key expectation from the parties and the candidates and their reps alike come Tuesday?
Yes, what I want them to do is to provide effective polling agents, not noisy ones, for them to be at each of the 75 polling stations. They needed to be there, they have to be there to observe and also to ensure that the rights of their candidates are protected. They have to wait throughout the election, and after close of poll, they should observe the counting and then sign the declaration of results form and take a copy. That declaration of results at the polling station level serves as the basic document for declaring results at all levels. And so when they get their copies, they should send them to the secretariat of the agent. If they do a good job, they should just add them, collate them. And when they have finished, they will come back, they should come back to the collation center. If they did their collation well, whatever figures the electoral commission will arrive at should be the same as they have. And so what they need is effective party or polling agents. And when they have done that, they should also get some of them to be at the collation center to observe whatever is going on there. This is all that they need to do. It is not about fighting, it's not about shouting. Just be observant and observe what is happening. If there's anything that you don't understand, the presiding officer is there. All of us will be in Kumawu on Tuesday. There will be a lot of monitors. You can talk to any of them. In fact, it should be after every 10 minutes, a monitor will be at each of the polling stations. So we should not worry. All they need to do is do their work well. Campaign well, and God with us, the right thing will always prevail.
Mustafa Gbande, who is Deputy General Secretary, of the NDC, has joined us for more on the Kumawu elections. First, let's find out the NDC's preparedness towards the by-elections tomorrow.
Hello.
Mustafa, you're on air. Kindly speak to me.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think from our side, we've been preparing the last few days. As of today, we are doing our final touches. All strategies have been put in place. We have had meetings with the police to debrief about their deployment plan and the various mechanisms that will be put in place to ensure that we have a violence-free election. Particularly, we're asking the police to brief us if there will be any joint operation that is beyond the police. Are they going to involve any other security agency? We want to know. And we also want to know the various sections of the Ghana Police Service. Those doing patrol, what is their limitation? SWAT team, what is their limitation? And then those who are deployed at the various polling stations, what to be their scope of work. Beyond that, we think that politically, our expectations have largely been met because generally the MPP is not having a goodwill on the ground. It shows clearly that government is not popular on the ground because they have not done any developmental project for the people of Kumawu. Everything you see there that has to do with infrastructure and development was the NDC, the legacy of the NDC. We've seen presently the MPP have deployed machines. We know that is for political reasons. They are sharing money left and right. They've deployed the entire government machinery into Kumawu for the past 3 days, whereas we continue to campaign on a clean message of hope and legacy. And I think that is most assuring. Our candidate is very prepared for this election, whereas they don't have a message. All they are saying is that they need to vote as their stronghold. Which stronghold that you have to deploy the entire government machinery when you are sure that you've been in power for the past 7 years or 6 years and you have worked? So clearly, they don't have a message. The NDC is prepared. Our expectations have been met because government is shivering, government is afraid, government is unpopular on the ground. So they are deploying resources, state resources, taxpayers' money is what they are sharing to buy votes on the ground. And that in itself is a bad faith on the part of the government. You have had the president himself been here. He's deployed all ministers of state. He's deployed the vice president. He's deployed all presidential aspirants on the ground. What exactly have the government been doing in the last 6 years? That a small by-election, you would have to deploy the entire state machinery. So clearly government have lost it and they have lost touch with the people. So that is where we are now. NDC is fully prepared. We are hoping that the Electoral Commission will do their work. We are also hoping that the issue of security, and we've discussed with the police, among other things, that NDC is not going to deploy any private security force, and that the security of our party people, the security of people who will cast their votes, the security of themselves, the MPP people, lies in the hands of the police, and police should take full.
All right, so Mustafa Gbande is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. He's been assuring supporters of the NDC that, I mean, they are fully prepared for the elections. He's also making allegations that the NPP has deployed full state resources in order to win the by-elections. But he says the NDC is not perturbed. They are prepared for the elections. Mustafa Gbande, do we have you back? Right. Are you back, Mustafa? Okay, we seem to have a terrible connection there. Well, on the other line, I've been joined by Richard Nyangma. He's an MPP communications officer. Richard, I'm grateful for your time. Let's gauge your preparedness. I'm talking about the NPP in tomorrow's by-elections. Hello, Richard.
Hi, madam.
Richard, I'm asking how prepared the NPP is on the ground for tomorrow's by-elections. We're hearing from the NDC quarters that you've deployed state resources to, to be able to garner votes in this election coming up tomorrow.
We've garnered what resources, if I could get that again?
The NDC is accusing the NPP of deploying state resources into the upcoming elections in Kumawu.
Let me say good morning to your listeners and viewers in any case. But it's a sign that the NDC are losing, and so they're crying foul. If they have any evidence of state resources being deployed to Kumawu, I think it will do and everybody a lot of good, especially the NDC, if they put such evidence out there. But just putting blatant statements that we deploying state resources would not wash. They should tell us how and what kind of state resources that we're deploying, because for me that would be criminal for us to do that.
Let's gauge your preparedness towards the elections tomorrow.
We are definitely on the ground. We have been, the unfortunate passing of Honorable Basua preempted this process. But since the EC declared that there was going to be a by-election, the party deployed its resources as much as possible from the word-go to the constituency. Some of us have been in and out of that place several times. And over the past week, you would have seen every party machinery deployed, all the party bigwigs, all the party personalities, and even government personalities, including the president, the vice president, other presidential candidates like Honorable Alan Kujo Chairman, and everyone else, the party chairman, the general secretary, the organizer, everyone has been down there, and we in particular were doing house-to-house campaigns over the past 3 days, moving from one household to the other and talking to them and emphasizing the need to continue the path that Kumawu has always taken. That is having an NPP parliamentarian to continue to serve them and continue the good works of the government.
That's why the NDC says that you didn't need to deploy people like the president, the vice president, in just an election happening in Kumawu. And they say that it's because you have failed the people, and that's why you're jittery.
Oh, will that be the first time the vice president and the president and the party apparatus would have been deployed to a by-election? Is that it? Then why was former President Mahama at Kumawu? It was just a by-election and didn't matter. And if he had the right to be there, what makes them think that the president, the current president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, whose government and party held the seat, would not be interested in showing up? That would be taking the people of Kumawu for granted. I don't get it.
And so you are confident of winning the seat again?
I'm overconfident, I would say, if it is the right thing to say. I am assured from the reception that we received. I'm assured from the utterances of the people of Kumawu when we interacted with them. I'm assured by the motivation of the people of Kumawu to retain the NPP in Kumawu and for us to hold the seat. And so I am overly confident that it's going to be retained, probably by a bigger margin this time.
Richard Nyama is an NPP communicator. Do we still have Monday on the line? Okay, so Mustafa Gbande, considering that that seat is an NPP seat, that makes it very tough for the NDC. I mean, what's your conviction that you'll be winning this election?
And historically, their stronghold, and that is a fact, is the most important reason why they should not deploy the entire state machinery into Kumawu. It is the most important reason why they should not wait until the death of an MP before they deploy logistics, before they deploy contractors onto that constituency. Because it is their stronghold, that is why you don't need the president himself, you don't need the vice president, you don't need the entire ministers of state, MCs in the whole of Ashanti region, the entire leadership of the MPP in their stronghold for a by-election against an opposition. When we got to the ground a few days ago, they were hooted at. They don't have a goodwill. Even in the funeral of the late MP, they were campaigning. These are people who are not emotional, they are not concerned. The family of the bereaved, the deceased MP is angry because when he was alive, he was being humiliated by Nana Akufo-Addo and his appointees. If you recall, at the time they were confirming the BCO of Kumawu, the MP who died today, for which MPP is seeking to win his seat, was not allowed into the room because he was perceived to be an anti-Akufo-Addo. Government does not have goodwill on the ground, so they are sharing money. The defense minister was here, he came to share money. The chief of staff was here, led by the Ashanti regional chairman, they came to share money. All that they are engaged in is vote buying and sharing of the little state resources that we have. This government that is crying that the country is not having money is having money to engage in vote buying. That in itself is shameful. That in itself shows that government is not popular on the ground. For us, our being in Kumawu is one, to assess whether or not there is a good way going forward into 2024. And clearly, the rousing welcome that we received, the goodwill that the people are showing the NDC
for the construction of the hospital, the what.
All right, Mustafa Gbande is Deputy General Secretary. If we have Richard Nyama, I mean, how do you respond to vote buying allegations by the NDC?
My sister, I think you should have stopped him when he was being specific that the Minister of Defense and others were physically distributing money. I don't think he is being fair to the minister, and I don't think you have been fair to the minister either.
That's why you are here. You should respond to it.
No, he was very specific and emphatic about it. So, but would have provided any evidence, and you didn't ask him to provide any evidence. He's saying the Minister of Defense was there distributing money. I don't think you're being fair to anybody.
So what's your response to that?
That is criminal. I'm saying that is criminal. It is not right for anybody to be engaged in vote buying. The minister was not involved in any vote buying. I've seen him doing house to house, and that is the house to house I was telling you about. I personally did house to house too. We went around houses and telling people why they should maintain the party and the government. So for doing house to house, if that is where his beef is, I don't get it. Now, if the president on a Sunday decides to use his time to attend a funeral and to talk to the people of Kumawu at a rally, and somebody thinks that he has a problem with it, that should be his headache. Because what the president chooses to use his Sunday time to do is none of his business. But all this being said is due to the lack of confidence of the NDC in winning the seat. And that's why they're going back and forth about this. I don't see them winning it. And that's why they're crying about it. Because if you're talking of you having huge rallies and people supporting you and rousing a welcome, let's see, compared to what we saw of the NPP. If I remember right, the former president was actually standing in a vehicle and talking to the people at the rally, and nobody could even see anybody being addressed. These are the realities of the day. If he has just come into politics and all of a sudden he's head of a by-election where the government and president have visited, then he should go and ask former President Mahama when by-elections were held, whether he appeared there or not, and then learn from that and come back.
Mustafa Gbande, do you have evidence of the vote buying, and have you reported this incident?
The Minister of Defense was here. He's my brother. He visited the Konkoma community. Ask him what he went to do there. His chief of staff.
Do you have evidence? Do you have evidence?
I'm saying that if they require, we'll give them. You have seen on internet sharing.
You should report to the police. You should report to the police if you have evidence.
We are not interested. We are not interested in holding the MPP on this, but we are just saying that they don't have a message. Government is unpopular. They don't have any goodwill in the constituency. So what they are engaged in is vote buying and sharing of state resources. They have migrated the entire government machinery into Kumawu needlessly. If they claim that is their stronghold, for which NDC have never won, why are we a nightmare to the extent that they have to deploy all their state resources? Nana Akufo-Addo did not see the need to construct their road. Only because the MP died and they are coming to perform a funeral, he has decided to deploy machines that are more than even the vehicles that we are using to campaign in the constituency. He has sent people to the abandoned hospital project to be clearing there and to start. We are saying that this is a mirage. The president does not have commitment. The president does not have the commitment to develop his stronghold.
Mustafa Gbande, are you aware? Are you aware that you are aiding an offense if you've seen evidence of vote buying and you're not reporting to the police?
Well, an offense becomes an offense when there's a complainant. When we get there, we'll cross. But for now, we are saying that the government does not have a message. The government have lost popularity on the ground. It will reflect in the results. They are engaged in vote buying and sharing of state resources, when on the contrary, they are telling the whole of the people of Ghana that the country is broke.
This government is lazy. It has not been working.
Right.
They have deployed the entire state machinery to intimidate us on the ground.
But you are not intimidated. You are not intimidated, you say?
We are not.
Right. I'm grateful.
We are not intimidated.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your time. Mustafa Gbande is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, and Richard Jangma on the other side is an MPP communicator. The Kumawu by-election is something that we're keenly watching. Definitely, you need to stay on your election headquarters. We'll bring you all that you need to know about these elections. Let's move on to other stories. Shop owners at Circulating are counting their losses to the tune of thousands of cedis at 50 shops have been razed by fire, which took the fire service more than 3 hours to tame. Frustrated eyewitnesses say the fire service failed to show up on time. The reason for the inferno affected so many shops. The fire service, in its defense, says they were responding to 2 distress calls at the same time. The reason they delayed in arriving at the scene. Joy News' Fatina Safo was at the scene and comes through with this report.
Well, it has taken the fire service close to 3 hours to douse the flames here at Circulating. It's still yet to be determined the cause of the fire, but then we can see behind us quite a number of people gathered around in an effort to salvage their goods. Now we know that so far a number of shops have been burned down. The police is here trying to control the crowd to avoid them going in to try to salvage their goods. They're yet to give us an exact number, the number of shops affected. We'll be getting that shortly. But then we noticed that some individuals were helping the police as well as the fire service douse the flames. They've been around. Let's get closer to them and speak to them. Boss, but today you see.
Me patcho, I am say me was secret happy. Na me some ton ade wo anim ha ya. Ti ye to hono na ye ti say boys no wa chiri hono. Sha say fire nti ye ro hye na ye kohwe nti ye ro hye ye kohwe no. Ti na me gina hono na me hwe. Ana boys no mo ye debate. Na we say oh yam fresh up no baby shop na omo he de den she we inside hono and be mu say omo fresh fire service ada say ko say ko mu bishop na ni no na say ko mu dum sa jacket wa na ye sa no happy sa tina e yam say like omo be say omo fresh fire service for no omo ba nti omo anya sa nti eja ne bofo akiri hono and e be ne fa akiri oni na nti e fa akiri oni na no ti ye be hu ase bia abene all market ni na neba nti ye sha ase amanfo phone shops ahihye wa ase ne amanfo enwoma ahye wa ha no enya asem ketwa ne kura de enya asem ketwa kura enwoma bebere na ahihye wa ase ahye pa.
Okay, nti sesia no shop ben na eba ne sen aija tosa shop no o ma katra wana
some shop kitwa be ndem yamedi mani hu ye shop kitwa bi sometimes so obi won na shop no yam say like upon doom light no and obusu won ma upon doom light no we say sometimes obi want me forget it say also doom the light enti me hu ni say bia won so sometimes maybe we na nya almost fault e bia forget ye na doom light na bibi we say light so they forget no doom light no so doom light no so definitely je betima ye den aso ana we say na so mo share that doom light na aso ana light no here sometimes pe eni ni time people enti mitum say no na e man eja na ye de twetwe ba ye e man inside where the say no.
Okay, so this is one of the individuals here, the eyewitnesses, has been trying to give a breakdown of what happened. He says that when they noticed that the shop started burning from within, they decided to have a debate as to what to do, either to call the police or the fire service or attempt actually breaking into the shop to try to douse the flames. But then whilst that banter happened, the flames went overboard. Is this your shop?
No, my shop is at the other side.
What happened?
When the fire occurred, when it started, we went and called the fire service. They told us that there was no car available then. So we tried in our own ways to stop the fire, but it's escalated. So there is nothing we'll be able to do about it. That was what occurred.
So your shop is in there. Yes. Can you quantify the number of things you've lost?
I just brought a new goods in, and I just can't mention a figure right now. Yeah, I can't just mention
everything gone.
Everything. Even there is not even a pen, not even a pen, single pen that I took out of the shop. Everything has gone.
Interesting. This is a shop owner. His shop is actually inside. He says he's lost virtually everything. Well, that's the scene here. Some people are still trying to clean in their shop, salvage some goods. Unfortunately, if you can see, some people are trying to lift out speakers from their shops. But then you could see that most of the glasses here, they've been broken. Inside the shops, burnt beyond recognition. If you could look at the top part of the shops where you had the billboards advertising their products, all burnt beyond recognition.
The fire service, they are just standing around, doing nothing. It's with the civilians that are trying to fight the fire, which is very bad. They are supposed to show menace, but they are not doing anything. As you can see clearly, we the individuals we are the ones trying to fight the fire, which is very bad. When we called them, it took them even almost 1 hour to get here. And when they come, some of them were taking pictures and other stuff. As you can see, you are a journalist, you can see clearly that the people, we are fighting the fire by ourselves.
There's only one shop. I'm say Ejana Tum. Around like the people that normally comes on work on Sundays. Okay. They try to inform the fire service. And I think we have a fire tender around here whereby it's not all that far. At the back of the road, that's the Dubai. We have a fire tender over there. So the people around that witnessed the fire, the starting of the fire. It seems they try to rush there to invite them that this is what is going on. Because it started from one shop, if I have to know. That's what I got to know. They started from one shop. And they couldn't come in till the time he entered to another shops. And I think it affected 1 or 2 shops. And if you guys can see, that's what is going on now. Sometimes we have problem. We will not blame the fire service workers or the fire service custody. But it seems sometimes when you call them, they can't come early. And we, the public, and them, the workers, I think we need some explanation. The reason why we call them, they can't come. If it's about them not having the items to work, you want to tell the government that it should wake up. But these things are not, it's something that is going on. And it's not a good thing to be, we the workers that sometimes, we the workers that we are working here, it's a loan that we are using. So if some things like this will go on, whereby you call the fire service, they cannot come to assist, whereby you enter into problem before they will come, I think then they don't have to come. So now we don't want to talk much. You just want to tell them that we need some explanation from them. The reason why, if they don't have the machines, then the government have to do what? They have to provide. Because we were in Accra here that we got to know that Tegetia was having the same problem. Why is it all the time? Fire, 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 fire.
So your shop has been affected? Yeah. Can you quantify the goods you've lost so far?
We are at the back there. We normally sell phone covers. I'm a phone technician. We sell phone covers and stuff, chargers. And I can say I've lost enough.
You do have a figure, 5,000?
It can be more than that. Because before you can enter into that kind of business, I think you have to have some small money on you. And it's not about 100 cities, it's not about 100,000. But at least you know. Most of them are loans.
James Aveji joins us via phone. He's been visiting the area this morning. James, what's the situation this morning? James. All right, we lost James Aveji there. We'll try and get him back to tell you more about the Circle area where we're hearing the 50 shops were burnt when fire gutted the area. Let's move on to other stories. The completion of this new structure will bring lots of relief to us teachers and pupils. Having roofed it now, we are hopeful we'll be moving into it very soon. That's a prayer of the headmaster of the Bremat Jamarat DA Basic School. According to him, the current structure is too risky for academic work. He was speaking with Multimedia's Classroom Project lead MFA Atiamwa Eli, who visited the site and reports works including ceiling, floor screeding, and electrical works and landscaping are outstanding.
Having raised a little over 100,000 Ghana cedis following appeals from key on-air personalities of the Joy platforms in February this year, 850 pieces of wood and 15 packets of colored corrugated aluzinc roofing sheets were procured, among other accessories, to roof the 3-unit classroom block, along with 3 offices. For the headmaster of the Brema Jamra DA Basic School, it has become more dangerous for the children to continue to learn under the existing weak structure. The roofing of the new classroom block can only be good news to them and taking away their fears.
At a certain level, the work was not going on. At this level, that there has been sheet on it, then the dressing is going on. We are hopeful that definitely the completion of these projects will make everybody happy. Some of the students, because of the nature of the old one, they've not been coming. When you go and ask them, some of them are waiting for the new one to be completed because they are scared. The old one, how it looks like. When it is raining and you come around, you see that they become very scared. So when the project is completed, everybody will be happy.
The same are the prayers and hopes of the pupils. For them, the sight of the new building alone is enough to encourage them to come to school in spite of the danger posed by the weak one in which they currently study.
When I see this new block, I think that soon we are leaving our old class to the new class. The classrooms are cracked. When the rain is raining, the roofing sheets, the air raises it. When we are there, we are scared. We are scared that the school will block on us.
The other classroom is not good for us to learn in. We feel hot in the classroom when we are learning, and if when it is raining, we don't feel happy when we are learning in the class. So anytime it is raining, we don't learn.
The classroom project is expected to provide safer learning environments for some 700 school children in both central and northern regions. The project is funded by donations from audiences of the multimedia group and other well-meaning Ghanaians.
Expectations among students, teachers and head teacher for the Brema Jamra DA Basic School are very high. So far, roofing is done, dressing is ongoing, but then there are still a lot more of work that has to be done. We are talking about the screening, we are talking about ceiling, there's landscaping to be done. So certainly you can say it is done. And guess what? You are our hope. For those who have donated already, we say we are grateful. For the Israeli embassy, thank you for donating. DBS roofing sheets, we appreciate the effort so far. Forestry Commission, thank you for the wood. For the Ghana Institute of Chartered Accountants, we thank you for the donation. For the Vice President's office, we say we are grateful. For everyone who has taken his or her phone to send Momo or drop in cash, check, just in support of this project, we at the Multimedia Group and the people of Brema Jamra are saying we are grateful to you. But as I said earlier, until the work is completed and handed over to the community, we cannot sit back and watch. We say, do not stop giving. We're still counting on you.
The Multimedia Group's classroom project is a beneficiary of the Giving for Change projects being implemented in Ghana by the Star Ghana Foundation and the West Africa Civil Society Institute with funding support from the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The project is aimed at ensuring social justice through voluntary giving and philanthropy at the local community level to promote development. My name is Amofa Ewenama Tiamwa Eli for Joy News, Brema Jamra.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Small and medium enterprises make up over 90% of registered businesses in Ghana, according to the Africa Leadership magazine. Despite these favorable statistics, a lack of proper and alternative financial management and funding causes businesses to collapse. Before their 5th anniversary, Chief Executive of the Venture Capital Trust Fund, Yao Osubrempong, is entreating SMEs to prioritize exploring alternative funding options to ensure sustainability. There's more in this report.
Small and medium-scale businesses in Ghana contribute about 70% to the country's GDP. SMEs are identified as prolific job creators and the backbone of the Ghanaian economy. However, the functionality of the country's economic environment has largely been characterized by funding challenges hindering the survival of many business startups. Existing and startup businesses are unable to seek funding from traditional financial institutions due to rigid requirements, lack of previous financial records, lack of collateral, high interest rates, and repayment pressures on cash flow are common requirements expected of businesses to fulfill. The Venture Capital Trust Fund, instituted by the SME Roundtable to create awareness and update knowledge on alternative funding offers to businesses. A discussion themed Protecting Venture Capital as an Alternative Financing Source for SME Growth included business experts and SME owners. CEO of the fund, Yao Osubrempong, said the VCT will assist businesses to create financial value for their businesses.
Venture capital is an alternative source of funding. So, I mean, the banks are there, but when a venture capitalist give you money, it's not just the money. They also give you what we call technical assistance, depending on your needs. It may even be marketing, even recruitment. They also help you formalize your business. You have to register the company. If you don't have an accountant, or they can get you somebody to provide you accounting services. So they sit down with you and analyze the businesses. Any area or anything that you fall short of, they will help you to put it together. And that is why we say they are there to help you create value in your business.
Kwesi Nyamiche, chairperson of the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, admonished startups to cultivate the habit of partnership to grow their businesses.
I want to advise that people begin to cultivate the habit or the idea of partnership or sharing. Equity investment is good. If you get the document and the data right, I mean the agreement right, it's good, because you can't do it all by yourself. Better you share, better you get ideas elsewhere to grow your business bigger.
SME participants asked that rigid requirements on loans and funding for the SMEs be loosened.
Most people have good ideas and they need funds. That's why they can make things flexible for them so that they get the funds. And I will advise other entrepreneurs, especially the young ones, that is not easy. They have to take the initial risk before somebody can come in.
The Venture Capital Trust Fund, established in Ghana through the Venture Capital Trust Fund Act 2004, Act 680, allows businesses to expand. Venture capital and private equity investment provide valuable guidance, expertise, and consultation to startup companies and SMEs that are believed to have long-term growth potentials. Reporting for Joy News, Clinton Yabwa.
And that's your business segment. My name is Daryl Kwao.
And that's how we wrap up the bulletin this morning. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Let's